Welcome, Madridistas. How are you all? Laporta has struck again, and Arbeloa answered him during his recent press conference as Real Madrid coach. Arbeloa's final appearance will be at tomorrow's match at the Bernabeu against Athletic Club de Bilbao. It wasn't the last press conference, but the second to last, since he'll give another after that match. Arbeloa has already confirmed he's leaving Madrid, which we all knew, based on how he spoke about Mourinho in the conditional tense. But anyway, well, he already takes it for granted, and he spoke very highly of Mu. As you'd expect, the same goes, and also about Carvajal, and we'll talk about it now. And about that time off Vinicius got from Real Madrid, which is kind of strange. He even said he might be there tomorrow. Maybe it has a little to do with personal matters and everything that has happened in Vinicius's life, the poor guy, in the last few days, with that breakup and all, which we're not going to get into because we don't like to get into that. But of course, it affects the player personally, even though the remaining match doesn't really matter to us anymore, right? In the sporting sense, I mean, tomorrow we'll be there, of course, and we'll be reacting on VGAB and with a live stream afterwards, the last one of the season, etc. But in terms of sports, Madrid has nothing to play for. Well, let's listen to this man, Laporta, and then Arbeloa's response. By the way, just a little thing. For those who didn't see the video, yesterday's video, explaining all this about Riquelme, real code and all that, which I said I would only explain once. And in the next one, I also gave an explanation. I added to the explanation, so you know you can go to the video if you haven't seen it. I'm going to put it at the end of this one here, overlaid, and everything is explained there, okay? Okay, let's listen to Laporta, like I said.
Who said it was grotesque, but that it had
strategy. He's talking about Florentino's press conference, and he says it was grotesque, but it had strategy.
He's talking about diverting attention, about how they haven't won anything in 2 years, and this, well, it has them very worried, and somehow they have to justify the unjustifiable. And the best way is to air all the dirty laundry and throw everything at Barca, right? And we're not going to allow this, and I'm sure your press and Montserrat's press won't either.
Well, it makes me angry that with Real Madrid's situation, this scoundrel comes and says this. It's true that Laporta is very effective at communicating, and we've always said that. Look, I want to be clear. The guy is a swindler. He's the Pied Piper of Hamelin. I mean, he's a snake charmer, and over there he charms his flock. He has them all lined up, right? But sometimes it's not so good, because when it exists, he explained it. That the unexplainable in that press conference about Negreira with those empty boxes, etc. Well, and let's not even mention in front of the judge called as a witness, who of course should have been charged but wasn't because of procedural deadlines. No, it hasn't been everything. We know what happened with Negreira and his actions. Laporta, who was the only one who quadrupled the payments out of the 4 presidents who paid the former vice president of the referees, well, there he contradicted himself, etc. I mean, communicatively, of course, when the lies are so big, it's hard to make those twists and turns. It's those turns, right? The guy often pulls it off, but those of us who know him already understand what he's about. Here in this sense, and I stick to my opinion, it's relatively easy for him to ridicule Florentino's press conference, even though the front page of Listo also says no, but there was a strategy behind that press conference. And of course, there was a strategy behind Florentino's press conference, right? But anyway, I'm not going back to that. The thing is that he said this, and Arbeloa did well to respond, which is kind of, well, just how you always respond, right? With the Negreira issue. But that's the point you have to keep bringing up, because this needs to be repeated constantly, and I like that this coach does it. The question is, will Mourinho do it? Mourinho, who hasn't discussed Negreira before, will he speak about it now? Well, we'll see. Hopefully he does it, because when he was the coach of Roma and Benfica, he didn't want to talk. Let's see. I hope so, and that he speaks as strongly as the Real Madrid coach, who also said something very interesting. He said goodbye and said that during all this time, he has thought more about Madrid than about himself. He's provided this last, or perhaps second to last, service for Real Madrid in this press conference. It was important, as he once again praised his players who have taught him much. Interesting, right? He never spoke badly about anyone and earned it. Come on, he believes he has done it, and he does it strategically as well, strategically too, so that he can come back, because he has also hinted that he is now ready for a good project. I really think he's leaving, and that one day in the future he'll come back. Being the coach of Real Madrid is on his mind. That's why he wants to leave Madrid on good terms, and that's how it is, and well, that's it. He said that many times he has thought much more about Real Madrid, about the club, than about himself. Well, regarding the response to Laporta bringing up the Negreira issue, he said this.
Laporta in Barcelona has described Florentino Perez's press conference as grotesque and said that they've started airing dirty laundry and that they won't allow it. I don't know what you think about this.
No, I don't give much importance to Laporta's words. I think we've always been very clear with everything we've talked about, and I imagine he's referring to the Negreira case. Well, we're still waiting for a resolution to such a serious case that has stained Spanish football for many years. And even after an investigation was opened, many referees who were involved in that case have continued officiating. We still have the same feeling of seeing Real Madrid players bleeding, not getting a penalty called, and the reward being that the referee gets to officiate a Copa del Rey final. Well, these are things that are not normal for us, and I think it's our responsibility to keep denouncing them.
Well, and Arbeloa seems informed too, and I like that a Real Madrid coach is well informed about what happened. I insist that Mourinho also responds there if it ends up being Mourinho, because it seems that this electoral process is starting, but I think Florentino has everything it takes to win. Anyway, we're all betting that Mao will indeed be the new coach of Madrid. They asked him if he would stay with Mao and all that. Obviously, he said no, that if it were up to him, he's more than ready and has his team and all that, and that he's going to look for other challenges. They asked him about Carvajal, and he praised Carvajal to the skies. I mean, here he didn't hold back on words of praise for the great Real Madrid legend who says goodbye tomorrow at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. I believe there will be a beautiful moment like we had with Ancelotti, Modric, and of course Kroos a year earlier. And well, about the Vinicius situation, this permission he has from the club, it's been really odd because yesterday we saw a news report saying that he was dropping out of the match, that he was going to Brazil. And I think it has to do with this, the breakup with this girl. Hey, matters of the heart. I mean, complicated and personal issues like that affect anyone's work. I mean, it's understandable, especially right now. I've seen criticism, but how is this allowed? I don't know. Man, last game, then he has the World Cup. This happened to him. It's understandable, and the club is right to give Vinicius permission. Sometimes we're stricter than the Pope, man. I don't think it's wrong. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As a reminder, you'll see it on screen. This video is shorter than my usual 20-minute ones. You'll see it here on the screen. One of the two videos will appear, well, actually both, yesterday's videos, both from yesterday, the one from midday and the one from the evening. The next one explains a bit more. It also adds a bit more explanation about this topic, about the real code thing. As you know, I don't hide anything from you. I've explained everything. Whoever wants to understand me will understand me. Whoever wants to listen to me will listen to me. Whoever wants to insult will keep insulting. Whoever wants to leave has already left. There's no problem. But there you have everything explained in detail with complete transparency. Like I said, well, there it is. Thanks to everyone listening and trusting this channel. Please like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Anyway, see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.